quickly. In your testimony, you described the deep ties between CRRC and the Chinese government. And my question is, would CRRC be able to resist an order from the Chinese government to take a malevolent action against the United States rail system?
Sir, if I understand the question correctly, would the CRC take orders from the Chinese government?
That's right.
No question about it. They're already doing that. And that's because not only is the directorship interlinked, but they're required by bylaw to solicit the opinion of the Chinese Communist Party for any decisions regarding company operations.
Well, I'd like you to elaborate a bit. My colleague was just asking you about this as well. The statements you made in your testimony about the Chinese dominance of the U.S. rail system would turn the system from a bedrock strategic asset into a potentially crippling vulnerability for us. If you could elaborate on your thoughts there just a little bit.
Yes, sir. Rail, especially freight rail, is the major way we move military supplies within the country. It's also the way we deploy military supplies from the bases in the country to the ports for deployment overseas. We couldn't do without it. We move tanks, we move trucks, we move everything that's of military significance that requires transportation because rail is, one, it's effective, and two, it's the least expensive way to move things in the country. That's a great asset for us. But if China were to make our rail cars, if China were in control of not only the rail cars, but the system itself, that would turn it into a strategic vulnerability because they would be able to monitor our movements. They would be able to receive advanced indication and warning of our movements. They would know what our plans were by knowing in detail what's on the cars. So instead of something that would be to our benefit, it would be something that we would be giving the enemy, potential adversary, I should say, a warning about what we're doing, and they would be able to monitor our movements.
Yeah. Well, in the foreign affairs space, I think we're seeing a change to great power competition. And I want to commend this committee and the bipartisan approach that we're having to this to try and counter what I do see as a new competition for us, something we need to be keeping our eye on. I don't want to stifle innovation. I still want to have trade and bring in new ideas, but I think this is something we have to keep an eye on. I want to thank you for your testimony and for helping share this with the American people today.
Thank you, gentlemen. Representative Balderson.